morning, bonjour, bonjour, Setlici. Welcome to the final episode of the final day of The Red Table. I am your host, Ika Fergus. Thank you so much for keeping it locked into Radio Caribbean International, the Caribbean Sound, on 101.1, 99.1. And of course, you can also listen live at rcistlucia.com. And of course, our lives, we are streaming live on Facebook, so have a look. Today is Friday, the 28th of November, 2025. And of course, we conclude this series with another one of the candidates for the upcoming election. Just to let you know that the Red Table is a talk show created as an avenue for the St. Lucia Labour Party candidates to have a one-on-one session where they can discuss their role and agenda in the party and the upcoming election. The show is on from Monday to Friday at 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. And of course, today is the final day. What a pleasure it has been. My guest today is Mr. John Paul Estefan, candidate for Babono. We know that Babono is a very large constituency, so we're looking forward to hearing what Mr. Estefan is all about for today. Okay, so we have 7:34 on the clock, and of course, I believe Mr. Estefan, we are already connected to Mr. Estefan via the live stream. Good morning, Mr. Estefan. You are live on the air.
Good morning, Ika. Good morning, St. Lucia, and good morning to all the people of Babono.
Oh, wow. I could definitely hear the tiredness in your voice. I guess you need to try to, drink some honey and lime so you could, celebrate hopefully next week, Mr. Estefan.
I have been getting all kinds of remedies from different people. Bopopo, ginger, honey, and lime. But I think I'm catching the flu.
Oh, okay.
But God is good. We will get there, Ika. Eventually, we will get there.
Wonderful. All right. So, Mr. Estefan, we get right into it. This slogan, everyone included, everyone empowered, John Paul for all. Please emphasize on this statement for us.
Well, basically, it means that in our first to transform the lives of the people of Babono, we are going to engage all and sundry, and that by mean we are not going to exclude anyone. So the young, the old, the flabos, the labor people, those that are Catholic and other religions, everybody will be invited to the table so that when we make decisions, that we make that with a general consensus from all the people of Babono going forward. Additionally, we're going to provide the necessary resources, support, and opportunities to empower everyone so that they can achieve their full opportunities. So the plan is not to alienate one group or another, but to ensure that as a government of St. Lucia and the representative for the people of Babono, we include everyone and we empower everyone.
Okay. So, Mr. Estefan, tell us who is John Paul as a person and who is John Paul in the constituency of Babono?
John Paul is a man of service. Okay, if I can put it simple, John Paul is a man of service because all my life I have given service to people, whether it be at the community level or at the national level. So I started my career as a teacher at the Deborah Combined School. Then I went on to become a principal of the Deborah Combined School. So I give a lot of service to the people of Deborah. I have served in the Youth and Sports Council in Babono. First, I served as treasurer. Then I served as vice president. I was the chairperson of the cricket committee. So there I was giving service to the young people in organizing and coordinating sporting activities for them. But we did not only focus on sporting activities. We also had activities that would build them so that they become better individuals in the community of Babono. I have also given service to the St. Lucia Teachers Union and the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Union. I served as second vice president of the Teachers Union. I was first vice president of the Teachers Union. I was part of the negotiating team for the St. Lucia Teachers Union. So when we got our largest increase in salary, that's a 14% increase, I was part of the team that negotiated that settlement with the government of St. Lucia. Wow. I just retired as I just resigned as the treasurer on the board of the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union. I've also given service at the National Level Cricket Association. I'm the outgoing first vice president of the Cricket Association. Before that, I serve as the principal secretary. I've given service to West Indies Cricket, Windwards Cricket. So in a nutshell, I'm a servant leader, and this is what I want to bring to the table, to the people of Babono, giving service to everyone in the community.
All right. So we definitely excuse Mr. Estefan because apparently the flu is trying to bring him down, but I know he still sounds strong enough to continue. So Mr. Estefan, this is, well, how did you get into politics? How did you get associated with the St. Lucia Labour Party?
Well, I've been in politics for a long time. I started following the Labour Party as a 16-year-old. At that time, I was a resident in the Dennery Valley. I didn't see that earlier, but I was born in Oleo. Okay. My parents are from the Dennery area, and I moved to Deborah as a 6-year-old. Okay. So all my life, I have lived in Deborah from the time I was 6 years. Okay. In terms of my schooling, I went to the Dennery Junior Secondary School. So as a 16-year-old at Dennery, going to the Dennery Junior Secondary School, I started following the politics, and I became attracted to the St. Lucia Labour Party. The philosophy of bread, justice, and freedom, it's just something that captured me. In Babono, I have served with all the political parties in Babono. I have worked with all the representatives in Babono. I suspect the kind of personality that I have, and then me giving so much service to the community, a lot of the people felt that, hey, a natural step going forward would be to serve the people at the highest level. You have to excuse me. I think I'm coming down with something. To serve the people of Babono. Well, when the opportunity to get a candidate to represent the St. Lucia Labour Party, a lot of people approached me and I was invited to apply. I went through a rigorous process where they select a candidate, and there I am. I'm the nominated candidate for the St. Lucia Labour Party. On the verge of winning the seat for them come Monday, the 1st of December, 2025.
All right, wonderful. So we're talking about some great leadership as far as your life is concerned, starting off as a teacher and then just moving higher and higher up to this point where you literally get to, take care, be responsible for an entire constituency. So that's very interesting. And I find it commonplace that so far everyone that I have spoken to from last week, all the candidates, they seem to have been chosen by their community. And what do you think about that, Mr. Estefan, before we take a short pause?
Well, the people can see the leaders who are authentic, who are genuine, who have an integrity. What I didn't tell you earlier is that before entering politics, I was a mathematics lecturer at South Lewis Community
Wow.
College. So this is something I did for the last 17 years of my life. So all of my life I have been working with people, and people can they can feel and they have a sense of people who are genuine, who are concerned, who are true, who have the humility, and they can serve them at the highest level. And that's why people come for you. They call for you. That's why people rally behind you. And that's why the people in Babono will give me a very, very strong mandate come Monday, the 1st of December.
All right, so that has definitely answered my question as far as your confidence is concerned, your confidence in your constituency. So we take a short pause, Mr. Estefan, have some water, take a deep breath, and of course, we will continue with the red table on RCI.
I'm Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Development, and the Youth Economy, and Minister for Justice and National Security. I am proud to say we have delivered to our young people. Previously, talented young solutions struggled with few opportunities and limited support. Today, through the Youth Economy, grants, and mentorship, over 1,000 young entrepreneurs have launched and upscaled businesses, creating jobs and driving innovation. Real investment in our youth, real opportunities created, less progress you can see.
Welcome back to the Red Table on Radio Caribbean International, the Caribbean Sound. I am your host, Ika Fergus. We have 7:44 on the clock. We go up until 8 a.m. And my final guest for this final show is Mr. John Paul Estefan, candidate for the constituency of Babono. Mr. Estefan, are you doing okay? Hello?
Pardon me? Yes, I'm back.
Okay, wonderful. All right, we still have you on. So, Mr. Estefan, I was asking about you already told us about your level of confidence in your constituency of Babono and how you believe that your constituents have your back as far as December 1st is concerned. So, can you tell us one or two achievements, what has happened within your constituency under the tenure of the St. Lucia Labour Party?
Well, in terms of helping people, there are a lot that has been done in helping people, giving people housing assistance. So that has happened. We have had some upgrade to some of the playing facilities that we have in Babono. So recently, we have a playing field next to the Babono secondary school that was commissioned. So this has happened. We've seen lights being put on the Debara playing field, and that is a very, very, very good project that is being undertaken. What I can tell you is that in Babono we have two playing fields that are at high altitude now. I don't know if you're a sports person, but if you're a sportsman and if you know that if you train at high altitude, you get advantage over people because when the higher you go, there's less oxygen. So if you're accustomed of training there, it builds your endurance, your stamina. So when you go at the lower level, what you call the sea level, all right, there is a lot more oxygen there, so you can perform better than those who have not been trained at the highest altitude. So what we want to do is to capitalize on the playing facilities that we have at these high altitudes. So we have the Debara playing field. Like I told you, they currently put in lights on that field. That field, we want to use it primarily for cricket, but we can use it for other events like track and field. And then we have the Lager playing field, which is one of the standout playing fields that we have in Babono. And you have to excuse me again. But that field, we need to do some work with it going forward, especially for the young people in the Lager area.
Okay. All right. Well, that's as far as the way you described that playing field, we definitely looking well sending out the message to our athletes to come there to do some training, at least to boost them up. So we've been having some great athletic products from St. Lucia of late, so we definitely want to continue that trend. So,
Yes.
Mr. Yes, so
Yes,
Miss.
we want to capitalize on that, and hopefully from Babono we'll see a lot more of the Levin Spencer, the Albert Reynolds, but in athletics. So if we can use that facility to help train and build our young people, then we can produce some outstanding athletes for St. Lucia. If I must tell you that at one time, the national football team in St. Lucia, they used to train at the Lager playing field. That was one of the first field that we had lights in St. Lucia. And in terms of the potential of that playing field, we want to maximize it so that not only the people of Babono, but the rest of St. Lucia can enjoy the advantages that that playing field present to
Okay.
all of us.
Okay, so Mr. Estefan, you were talking about some upgrades. So tell us about your plans. What are your plans for your constituency if and when you win your seat?
Well, the plans will start if the young people, so a lot of emphasis on youth sports and community development. First, we need to get organized groups in the different communities. And not only talking about groups for sports, but we need, for us to develop each community, we need to have an organized development committee. That is something that has started, but we need to review it to ensure that everyone serving on these committees, they understand their role, they understand the purpose, the vision is in sync with what we want to do at the community level. I'm referring to Babono, and even at the national level. For the young people, we need to start them by being in organized groups. Earlier, I told you I was in the Babono Youth and Sports Council. I serve as their treasurer. I serve as the first vice president. And my time there build my capacity to help me to in terms of my leadership skills, to build on that. We want the young people to be exposed early, give them the opportunity so that they can build and empower themselves going forward. So I am talking about establishing organized group in each of the community. We want to look at the infrastructure that we have for sports, ensure that, hey, we have the best available infrastructure for sports in the different communities. We have 5 major playing fields in Babono. We have to look at them, ensure that the surface is okay, the lighting is proper, and then we are making maximum use of them so that we can give opportunities. In terms of programs for the young people as it relates to sports, we want to have a year-round program. I can boast and tell you that Babono, in terms of cricket, they are the champions of the St. Lucia National Cricket Association Dream 11 T10 competition. Earlier in the year, in February, they won the Prime Minister's T20 Cup. So that means we have the talent. What we need to is to build on that. The cricket committee in Babono is doing an outstanding job. We want to provide them with the resources, the support, so that they can keep pushing the athletes, have a lot more grassroots programs to get young people involved in the sports. We want to celebrate the athletes more. So when they do well, we want to celebrate them and highlight them going forward. So a lot of emphasis will be placed on the young people, the sports, and the community. But we're not only going to focus on sports, we want to develop other aspects of young people, like debating, like I'm a mathematician by profession. We can have mathematics quiz and these kind of activities to help them. We want to build a lot of community spirits. Earlier in the year, we had a domino competition. These are some of the things that we want to do going forward.
Okay.
We also want to focus on the elderly. You know, the elderly people, they, through their hard work, they have built St. Lucia. They have built the community of Babono. And in the twilight of their years, we want them to enjoy comfort and so on. One of the things that I would like to see happen is if we can have a specialized home for the elderly in Babono.
Okay.
There was, well, Sister Love had already, when she passed away in her will, she had already bequeathed a building that can be used for that facility. So what we need to do now is to work with the administrator of the estate to ensure that, hey, her dreams can be fulfilled in terms of having a home for the elderly. We would look to see if we can get a specialized vehicle for the elderly. In cases of emergency, where the ambulance cannot come, that vehicle will be available. And then we can also use that vehicle to take them to church, to take them for recreational activities if they want to watch a football match and so on and so forth. So we will look to do that. At one time, Babono was perceived as the breadbasket of St. Lucia in terms of agriculture. We want to look at the farmers. There's a major development that's supposed to happen in the Mackay estate where we bring in tourism, agriculture, even a university. What we would want is that the farmers who ply their trade in that particular area, that we have consultation so that they can benefit from whatever that is going to happen at the Mackay estate. We also have an agro-processing plant in the Foaso area that seemed to be a little white elephant. If we can reactivate it, and even in the area where the agro-processing plant is, if we can have a market for the farmers so that they can sell their produce. These are some of the things that we look in. You would have heard about Babono being the ecotourism capital of St. Lucia. And what we want to do is to take advantage of what is it that the government will be doing and helping each community build their own niche. I don't know if you have been to Debarra on a Wednesday evening. Maybe you should try that, Ika.
Okay.
Do you know where Debarra is?
Well, I believe so, but I'm not from the area. I'm not too familiar, but yes.
So there is a special seafood Wednesday.
Ooh.
Although it's not close to the sea, but if you come up there, you will get mouth-watering seafood.
Wonderful.
That you can eat. So the plan is, in terms of community tourism, to ensure that every community has something that is unique and that they can sell, so that people from Babono or outside of St. Lucia or outside of Babono, they can come and visit Babono to enjoy. Because if you notice, right now, some people, when they leave Vieux-Fort to get to Gros-Islet, and they don't want to pass through Castries, they come through Hill 20, and then they pass through Babono, Diramo, and then they get to Gros-Islet. And then we have, thanks to the government of St. Lucia, you have a very, very good road network. The link road between Babono and Gros-Islet, I think Kenson Casimir has done an outstanding job. Right now, it's easy sailing from Babono to get to Gros-Islet. So we want to capitalize on all the people who are passing through Babono. So when they pass through, they just pass through, but they can stop and enjoy maybe our cuisine, part of our culture, and so on and so forth.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Mr. Estefan, as far as your plans are concerned, that is a very long list, and it's a holistic list as far as you touching your constituency members. You are tapping into your resources in that constituency, Babono being such a very large constituency. You're tapping into the human resource and the natural resources, and of course looking forward to you know, all the plans that you have stated here today, especially the agro-processing and the eco and community tourism and I know that you are a sports enthusiast. It's very dear to you. And of course, you have definitely incorporated that into your plans as well. So, Mr. Estefan, it sounds like you're on a good foot.
Yes, I believe that we are on a good footing, and the people, you could feel the energy. There's a lot of vibe going on. I can tell you that the people of Babono, they are very, very happy with the leadership of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and that is our Prime Minister, Philip J. Philip J. is a very popular, very loved man in the Babono constituency.
Okay, so Mr. Estefan, to wrap up our show today, in your final message, what would you like to leave with St. Lucians? Tell us why it is important. The latest sayings nowadays, what's on the ground is, why is it important for us to vote for continuity, progress, and our children?
Well, under the leadership of Philip J. St. Lucia has begun to walk a path of fairness, empowerment, and opportunity. Okay, and here in Babono, what we want to do is to take advantage of that and move forward. So where the peer administration, and if you notice, I am speaking about what is currently happening. So where the peer administration has invested in youth, what we will do, we'll build facilities and programs to take care of our young people. Where the government has given support in education, we'll create centers for early childhood and playground for our children. Where the government has backed our farmers, we'll bring markets and processing plants. Where the government has invested in housing, we will take opportunities so that families in Babono, they are the first to get in line. Together, we can write the next chapter for Babono. What we can do together is to make Babono a stronger, more inclusive community where we will rise together and feel proud, empowered, and united. And I want to place a lot of emphasis on unity among the people in Babono. I know we are separated by red and yellow and others, but I want all of us to work together so that we can build Babono as one of the strongest, vibrant community. I believe when we start and we do that, if you notice, Grosile and Castries, they are towns. What we need is to set the foundation so Babono in the next 15, 20 years that they can be a town in their own right. I believe that the government of St. Lucia under Philip J. Pierre, they have done an outstanding job in managing the affairs of the state, and they deserve to continue. And I know that the people will give them the mandate to continue. And then Babono will rise, and we'll rise together, and we'll have a stronger and better community.
Wonderful. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. John Paul Estefan, candidate for Babono, currently going through the flu. So I hope he gets remedied before Monday, because Mr. Estefan, we need you at full capacity on Monday to celebrate. So thank you so much for being my guest today on the final episode of, yes?
No, I was going to say thank you, Ika, and I just want to remind all the people of Babono on Monday. Well, if you know, voting started today.
Today, yes.
Yeah, voting started today, but on Monday is the main voting day. So when they do go out on Monday to vote, that they will put the X next to John Paul Estefan and the star, and they will vote. And all your listeners, they will vote for the candidate of the St. Lucia Labour Party and our two independent candidates, Stevenson King and Richard Frederick.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Estefan. Do get better very soon. And of course, wishing you the best of luck on Monday.
Thank you, Ika, and have a pleasant day.
Okay, you as well. All right. So, thank you so much, my guest today on the final episode of The Red Table, Mr. John Paul Estefan, candidate for Babono. Thank you so much, Sedley, and of course, Radio Caribbean International. This has been a very inspiring 2 weeks. Very informative. Very educational. I learned a lot, and I sure hope that you, St. Lucia, have been listening and you have been taking notes as well. Wishing all the candidates that I have spoken to over the past 2 weeks the best in Monday's election process. And St. Lucia, you know exactly what to do. Think of your future. Think of continuity. Think of progress. Think of yourself, yes? Thank you for listening. I am Ika Fulga saying goodbye. Thank you so much for being with me one-on-one at the Red Table.